So for week 8 discussion board, we were to decide on a report, and I actually chose the Willie Grimes Free At Last one because it kind of reminded me of Brian Banks, the NFL player, who I had recently looked into that and watched the documentary on Netflix, where they were both actually they were convicted of a few crimes that they had not done themselves, and one was based on what somebody else assumed was the person, and the other was Brian Banks' case was the girl that lied for all these years while he sat in jail and spent most of his life is sitting in jail and innocent. Willie Grimes is, though, on the other hand, in 1987, an African male forced his way into a home of an elderly woman in Hickory, North Carolina. The intruder warned he had a knife. He proceeded to rape her twice before leaving the back door. On his way out the door, he went through her fruit bowl and took a few pieces with him. The prosecutor a neighbor came forward and made the assumption that it could have been the sister's ex-boyfriend. In reality, there was not enough evidence that would put Willie Grimes in that location because he had several alibis. He had more than 3 counts of alibis confirming that he was not near that home that night. So he gets wrongfully convicted for, I believe it was nearly a quarter of a century in prison for a crime that he did not commit. He always maintained his innocence. As many offers that they gave him in plea bargainings that made him want to just to be clear of this, he didn't do it. He didn't give in. And I think that alone, to have these really great deals or plea bargainings and not give in, I gotta give the man a credit. So he finally went into the North Carolina, was it the Center of Actual Innocence, and they were able to help him. They did enough testing. They tried to bring out the documents and the files and everything, but it had been destroyed. Luckily, they went through the law enforcement's investigation file. We were able to find it. And what they found was prints that were uploaded resulted in a match to a man that was with a lengthy criminal record, and it turned out to be someone else. Well, during the lineup, the victim didn't recognize him because the photo that they had up there was not an updated photo. So of course it's not gonna ring a bell. With that said, it's wrong. It hurts me to see cases like this. I know there's people still sitting in jail right now that have been wrongfully convicted, and it breaks my heart, and I'd do anything and everything in my power to stop something like this. But again, really great case, and it reminds me a lot like the Brian Banks NFL player, where he spent all his 10 years in jail, so not nearly as much, but 10 years in jail based on a lie that later on he was exonerated because the female came forward and told them that she had been lying about the rape and kidnapping. But, yep.